from the article I read, it's really talking about the PVD, that's the participatory plant breeding. It talks about the problems that's associated with the PVD project and how to how to solve it. One of the things they mentioned in the article was you know the fact that it wasn't like open access. It wasn't open for public access. It was more of a IP restricted. That means only a particular body or the government could like assist or had like conclusive a conclusive say on the plant breeding, you know, program. And yeah, basically affected them in terms of they were not getting enough funding from the government. It wasn't going as far wide as it should be. It should go. So yeah, so they were developing like ways to battle this problem. And so they came up with a who got kissed variety. That was a sweet corn variety that they used the participatory plant breeding process. They opened it for the public. They allowed other actors, commercial. They allowed commercial investment. It wasn't restricted just to the government. They could access commercial funding, and yeah, they and it could go like far around the world. And that project was a success because they had like a commercial success within like 8 years of opening the participatory plant breeding. So what's really about the participatory plant breeding? The first thing is open access, because normally it's always normally the way it's run is running like with confined access to like the government or the people, the high stakeholders or the regulatory bodies. What they found out is that the breeding varieties were not moving as far as obviously as they wanted it to be, and they were not getting enough funding from the government because it was just it was limited. So this article was talking about them making it open for the public and removing the restricted access where people can develop new varieties on their own, or if they want to involve the government, that's also fine. Another thing they found out that when by like opening it to the public, they could get more funding from like commercial sources, from like the commercial companies, and they could make like a whole committee and an organization where they could get funding from themselves instead of waiting for some high stakeholders or for the government to allocate funding, which obviously wasn't enough. Another thing is the varieties could go far. Yeah, the varieties could go to different parts of the world and really help. One of the problems they were looking at was like sometimes you might have like the variety, and the variety goes to another country, but because of the pest or the climate or the what those people in the other country eat, it might not be accepted, and it might actually not do well if like produced in if pushed to a large pushed to the larger community, like the world and large. And that was one of the challenges they faced. But while doing the project I talked about earlier, the wool got kissed, that's the sweet corn variety. They saw that it actually did well. Obviously there's going to be like some obviously there are going to be some varieties that will not work, will not do well, or will not grow well in another region of the world. But that's basically the point of the participatory plant breeding, where those people could like look at the variety and make their own, and make a new variety that is sustainable for that part of the world. So yeah, so basically that was making it open to public access and not removing the IP restriction, making it open to the commercial funding, making it open to other actors and other researchers and other people around the world, and making it a global community. That's basically what the article was trying to say.